Today we are making ANZAC biscuits. Yes, biscuits. And Charlie, do you know what ANZAC means? What's ANZAC short for? Guess.
I genuinely have no idea.
Where are the biscuits from?
Australia.
So what's the first then?
Australia.
Where is Australia fairly close to?
New Zealand.
Okay. And the term originated in the World War One. What sort of people went in? Begin with A.
I don't know.
Australia, New Zealand Army Corps.
Ah, okay.
Basically. And ANZAC biscuits are, I assume they made them and so today we're going to make them. It's all well and good having them bought in and someone sending us them, but it's much better if you make them yourself and have them homemade.
And fresh.
Thermomix time. Let's get cooking. Okay, oven is preheating. You've lined 2 baking trays.
Yep, done.
120 grams of butter cut into pieces, please.
Getting there slowly.
There we go. 120 grams of butter. Now, by looking at the recipe beforehand, it seemed quite a simple recipe.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that it was something that was quite easy to make back then. If you're in the army, you don't necessarily have as many ingredients to make things. So I'm assuming that is why it's quite a simple recipe, and hopefully the taste is pretty good. 100 grams of golden syrup.
From what's in them as well, I think they would last quite a long time.
You think?
They've got nothing in them that would go off as such quickly.
Alright, let's pour some golden syrup in. Just a sticky mess. There we go.
I'll leave that to one side to clean later.
Sure. Measuring cup, so it's going to blitz up the butter and the syrup.
And melt it all together.
And melt it. Just a buttery, syrupy mess. Right. Scrape down the sides, making sure there's no butter or syrup on the sides. 1 tablespoon of bicarb.
Teaspoon.
Teaspoon. Don't put tablespoon in, it might be too much. That might ruin it. Measuring cup straight in again. Alright, here's where the thickness comes in, because it is 100 grams of rolled oats, which we would call porridge oats, I assume. Do we call them?
Yes, if you look on the front, whole grain rolled oats.
Okay, but we wouldn't, do we call it rolled oats?
I would call them porridge oats, or just oats.
Okay. Plain flour, 150 grams. Is this cheap or expensive flour?
Expensive.
It is organic. Light brown sugar, 70 grams. We've gone for some fair trade sugar. I may have put too much in.
It's going to be very sugary.
It might be quite sweet now. 50 grams of desiccated coconut. I'm hoping it won't affect the taste too much.
Here's this, left over from the Lamingtons.
Okay, we've still got some from the Lamingtons. Alright. It does feel like quite a lot of coconut.
The amount of sugar you've got in there, I don't
Do you
think
think
it. I think it will cover the taste.
Okay, right. Let's blitz it up. 8 seconds, quite fast. All right.
Does it smell nice?
It's a very much. It's very much a. It's quite coconut. It's the main flavours I'm getting is coconut.
I'm just getting golden syrup.
Coconut and golden syrup for sure. So it wants us to put 2 teaspoons of mixture, flatten it down to about 5 centimetres.
Okay.
I will let you do the honours. Will they rise very much, do you think, or they?
Not a lot,
Do you think?
because they have got some barley carbonate soda in, so it will rise a little bit. It's about 5
I'm
centimetres.
just thinking because a lot of it is oats. It's oats and coconut, and I don't really see those.
It's quite similar ingredients to flapjack.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I make flapjack, this is quite,
Maybe
apart
it'll
from the
taste-
amount of flour, it's quite a similar
Maybe
recipe.
it'll taste quite similar to flapjack, but a coconutty version.
It'd probably be a more biscuity flapjack because it's got flour in.
Well, if you're watching, let us know what you think of the recipe. I'm assuming it is quite an accurate recipe. The ratings for the actual recipe were quite high, so I would assume that a lot of Aussies may use this recipe to cook them. They look pretty good. Actually, I know there's a fair bit of coconut in there, but I think, like Charlie said, with the syrup in it, it will probably sweeten it up and maybe remove a bit of the coconut flavour. Maybe the coconut is adding a little bit of thickness to it. Maybe. Anyway, let's jump cut, and when we come back, you'll have 2 trays worth. Charlie's finished. The funny thing is, the recipe said it makes 30. Now, whether or not Charlie's been doing them at like double the size, because we have 16. So, hey ho. 9 to 12 minutes until golden brown. Into the oven they go. Ready? We'll see you when they're done. How do they smell?
They smell and look really good.
They have got a bit bigger, haven't they?
They really have.
Yeah, I
They're
wasn't
kind of
expecting them.
flattened out, I think.
Okay, right, stick them down there then. They're going to have to cool for, it says 5 minutes, but they might need a little bit longer than 5, so. Once again, we will see you soon. They have just come out the oven. We've left them about 15 minutes, I think, and they do actually smell really, really
They
good.
smell amazing.
Very oaty. You said they might be like flapjacks.
They're not really like a flapjack.
Let's have the biggest one. Let's see. So they're still warm, so there's no real crunch. But actually, is there anything better than having like a cake or a biscuit that's just come out of the oven?
They're nice and warm.
And they're still warm. But yeah, they're not massively flapjacky in looks wise. Is it alright?
Really
Go on,
good.
just describe the flavour for me.
It's like a sugary, buttery. Don't really get the coconut that much. You get a little bit of it at the end. But it's the golden syrup, I think, comes through more than anything.
So there's a hint of coconut, and that's okay. That's okay. If it's only a hint, I've not got a problem with that.
I really like the texture.
There's obviously the crisp on the outside. the crunch on the outside and then the chewy in the middle. And actually, to be fair, it does taste a bit like a flapjack, but in biscuit form, where you get that crunch and then the gooey inside. Now, whether or not then, when they're properly cooled, they will firm up. I'm not sure if the middle then will firm up as well, and it will just be a crunch. But actually, oh, the crisp on the outside.
So yum.
But while they're hot, they're so, well, they're not hot, they're warm, but while they're still warm.
So yummy, so good.
You can see why they would have made these years and years ago. It doesn't take a lot of ingredients.
No, they were reasonably easy to make.
That was so easy to make.
Even without the Thermomix, that would have been a very easy recipe to follow.
Time-wise, total time was about 30 minutes. So to make this many in 30 minutes, I'm pretty sure these are the sort of things they make in, same as Lamingtons, but they make these for cake sales and things like that, charity things. They're so easy to make. And
they're very cheap. Nothing really in them is expensive to buy.
No.
It's a very cheap thing to make. Really,
really good. You'll all be pleased with me because I'm saying the ANZAC biscuit is really nice. It is really, really nice. Just the texture, the taste, the gooiness from the syrup.
They are starting to harden a bit more. Especially the smaller ones. The slightly smaller ones are definitely going a bit more crunchy.
There is another type of ANZAC biscuit, which is the soft, chewy one.
Oh, okay.
We may try that one as well.
Because some of the ones I've seen are a lot rounder, not as flat.
That might be the chewy version. So there is another version, so we may try that. If there's anything else, once again, especially if it comes straight from the Thermomix, have a look at the Thermomix cookie dough recipes. See if there's anything that you think we should try and make homemade. Homemade's always best. Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, guys, make sure you give it a thumbs up and like. If you disliked it, there is no reason why you dislike it. But if you did, that's fine. Hit the dislike and make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.